and elevations. That's what, you know, that is what we need to provide, and the rest is up to council what they do want to put up for public exhibition. So
Sandra, can I just ask you to just
sure.
for a second? Somebody's got their is not on mute and we can hear your background noise. Someone talking in the background, someone who's on NETSANET. Please get yourself on mute. Or if they can't do it, Lisa, can you do it for them?
Yep, it's all sorted now. Sorry about that.
Thank you. No, it's not.
It's not.
Somebody called NETSANET. Mute them, please.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, Sandra, away you go again. Sorry about that. But
no, you're all right. Actually, that's it from me. I've addressed the points that I found thing, and yeah, willing to hear from if there is any questions. Anyone wants to ask me anything, I'm happy to.
Okay. Oh, well, that was a convenient stoppage then. That was
yeah.
amazing, really.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Members of the panel, what questions do you have for Sandra or indeed our community speakers?
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please, Lynn. That'd be lovely.
Okay. Sandra, I was just wondering, Lynn Robinson had mentioned that had asked about landscaping along the fence as a minimum because the driveway was going to be very concretey. Is that something that can be addressed? I haven't seen the landscaping plans.
Yeah, so what I can do is am I able to share a screen on this or no?
You could try.
Yes, I'll just change
yep.
it for you. Can you do that now?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'll just share. I don't know if you can see it now, but this is the landscape plan that we have provided.
Yes.
And there's landscaping all along the side of the driveway there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, just to screen the retaining wall as well and to soften its impact. Yeah.
It doesn't go right to the end, right to the street though, does it? I see. Is it just got a little bit of...
Oh, no, but that's only because the tree officers and the engineers and council asked us to remove them because we needed to provide the site triangles. So these need to be clear for vehicles, for the vision. Yeah, so that's why we weren't able to provide any landscaping along this corner there, or we had to leave that clear. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra.
That's it.
Anything else, Lynn?
No, I think we asked about the replacement trees. I believe there is a minimum size that the replacement tree has to be because of the removal of the street tree, and that's clear now to me.
Okay. All right, Greg or Stephen, do you have any questions for any of our speakers this afternoon?
Yes, to Sandra. I understood from the report there was a condition requiring curb and gutter and the footpath, but I just can't seem to locate it in the conditions at the moment. Are you aware of that condition at all, Sandra?
The curb and gutter?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's standard with most applications that don't for developments that don't actually already have a curb and gutter. So, and in this case, the site doesn't already have one. So what our engineers do for the preliminary designs is they design the driveway and they include the curb and gutter as part of council regulations, because we do, for any new development, we need to provide a curb and gutter to the streets.
I don't know. I think we've just been through that today in our briefings with the council staff. I don't think there's actually a policy on it. It's more a practice that they require. So you have no objection to providing the curb and gutter and the footpath across the frontage of the site?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing else, Stephen? No. Greg?
Yeah. Chair, I haven't got any questions for the people who made submission, but it was more one of the issues raised by Mr. Whiffen on overshadowing. I just wanted to ask the staff about stuff in the report. Is that okay? Or
yeah,
I'm not sure which staff member I actually asked.
Possibly
It doesn't matter. I'll just raise it.
or Elsa, I think, or
Amy, and I'm sure Sandra can also provide more, but Amy first, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Amy, on page 19, you heard Mr. Whitfin's comment on overshadowing, and he feels that the report's not quite correct with regards to the statements, but it says on page 19 that under sunlight access, that sunlight minimum 3 hours in living, dining, family rooms, and 50% of principal open space areas. Sunlight's retained to existing neighbours. It says the shadow diagrams have been provided to demonstrate the maximum levels of sunlight that can be achieved. It says it complies, and it complies with the objectives. You haven't changed your opinion of that based on what was any changes with regards to Mr. Whitfin's comment?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And so the other question is, Mr. Whitman said the shadow diagrams weren't publicly exhibited. Weren't they part of the documentation of the DA that would have gone on exhibition?
Yeah, so I just looked at the publicly available notification plans, and they appear to be on there, but I can double check that with the admin staff if that's the
okay.
correct set that were notified.
So you're basically, from what you know, as part of the package of the development application that went on exhibition.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Thank you. I've got no further questions, Chair.
okay. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the Chain Valley Bay matter. All of the people who are registered to speak are on behalf of the applicant, and some of them just want to answer questions. But if there are any of you who do want to speak, you've got a total of 15 minutes for all of you put together, and I'll let whoever it is that's the nominated spokesperson kick off.
Yeah, thanks, Donna. I'll go. My name's Joe Waugh. I'm the head of planning with Hometown Australia. Given there's no other speakers today, really we're here today to answer any questions of the panel. But I will start by saying that the council recommendation that's before the panel is an accurate reflection of the commitments we've made throughout this development process. It is the culmination of over 2.5 years of detailed reporting, and we're proud of the outcomes that have been presented. In particular, as the council officers report demonstrates, we've been able to demonstrate that the impacts of the proposal are not serious and irreversible, and that's largely due to our commitment and acquisition of Lot 22, which as noted, will provide benefit to the local biodiversity. Other key highlights for us include confirmation from Council and RFS that the development meets bushfire protection requirements. We've incorporated some significant protections for existing residents in there, as well as future residents. The development, as noted, won't have significant impact on the existing road network, and it has support from both Council and Traffic for New South Wales, as documented in the council report. And importantly, we've, as always, confirmed that this development will achieve a high level of amenity for our residents, and it is a suitable use for the site. In regards to the conditions, we are satisfied. I'm satisfied that they are clear, measurable, and achievable. They will allow Hometown to deliver on our commitments, and they give us clear parameters for timing and reporting. And on this basis, we accept the conditions without amendment. Hometown, by way of background, as an experienced development team, we've developed more than 400 new dwellings within existing communities like Tarragona. We own and operate 57 communities across 3 states, and right now we are developing within 8 communities just like Tarragona. So we have a highly experienced development team that is able to deliver, and we have a full comprehensive understanding of our compliance obligations, in particular Local Government Act regulations, and everything is understood within the framework of the council recommendations. So look, we've got a team, our consultants are online today. So if you want to ask us any further questions, we'd be happy to answer those. And I'm also available to answer questions.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And nobody else wants to say anything at this stage? No?
No, not at this stage. Thanks, Donna. No.
Thank you. All right, members of the panel, who wants to go first? No at all. Greg, away you go.
I really only wanted to ask if you've got a drainage engineer available, flooding engineer, drainage engineer.
Yes, I believe Jason is our civil engineer. We've got Nets.
Okay.
I believe I saw his name on there on the call.
If I could just ask Jason, condition 2.13 talks about the erection of a flood berm proposed in the eastern boundary of lot 1, which is number 2, I presume. So it's going to be inside that property, and then there'll be two rights of way, and then there's another adjoining property to the east. I was just wondering, that condition, why is it required, and what are the impacts of basically a berm which it would act like a retarding basin or retention basin in types of heavy rain and flooding, wouldn't it?
So the berm,
and would there be any impacts on both rights of way and the adjoining property?
Yep. So the berm is there to act to direct flow to the low point. The low point being in one location where we've proposed an inlet, a stormwater inlet, and we have some significantly sized box culverts going underneath the proposed development to convey the flows. Where that low point is, we've done some additional, we're proposing to do some additional work on battle axe handle for lot 22 to make sure there is an access through that is completely flood free, and we've proven that with the flood modelling we've done. And sorry, the battle axe handle for lot 21 is unaffected from current situation.
But the berm, I saw some of the drawings that it had a berm created, but it looks like, unless it's got a flash retaining wall along the right of way, it would have to be constructed across the boundary, wouldn't it?
No, at this point it's proposed to be completely within the property.
And so it's a directional thing rather than any sort of retardation. So in high types of rain, the system has capacity to make sure the water just goes straight into the bay.
Correct. So yeah, so the culverts, the inlet and the culverts have been sized for the 100-year. In the event that there's a severe blockage, 100% blockage of the culverts, the levels of all the dwellings have been proposed above that level. So if the inlet blocks, water builds up, it goes down the road out the front of some of these proposed dwellings, and those dwellings are above that level as well.
Okay, so
absolutely,
there's definitely no impacts then on adjoining properties potentially.
Correct.
Okay, I've got no further questions, Chair.
Thank you, Greg. Lynn or Stephen?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for you, Lynn. Thank you. Okay, Stephen.
That was basically the only issue I think we sort of had that was outstanding, other than whether they wanted to just comment about the time. I know the application was lodged early last year by the looks of it, and we're sort of midway through the next year, and we've got a report coming up to us. Have you got any sort of explanation as to why that's occurred? I do know there's been some RFIs issued on biodiversity issues. Just leaving it open to you to make any comments about that as the applicant.
Oh, look, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, as you noted, and as the report notes, I think there was about 6 RFIs throughout the process, which we replied to in as quickly as we could. But look, look, I mean, we're satisfied with the recommendations we've got there in the end.
A very strategic response. Thank you. Okay. Does anyone else from the panel have any last questions for all of these people that have kindly turned up this afternoon? No? Okay. All right. Well, that's it for all of our speakers. What we will do now is we will close this public meeting and move into our deliberative meeting. And given that we're doing all of this electronically, our plan is to have our decisions up on Council's website as soon as we possibly can. We might make a decision, we might defer if we need more information. That's typically the sorts of things that can happen. But the only thing that's left for me to do at this stage is to thank everybody who attended this afternoon and took part in the meeting, including, of course, the panel members, the members of the community, the applicants' representatives, and all of the people from council. Thank you very much. And members of the panel, if we could be back on at on the link for the deliberative meeting at 2:45. Then we'll move into that stage. Thanks, everybody.